Hello, my um, YouTube channel followers. Today I want to touch a topic which is the most actual in the international agenda. It's the intervention of Russia to Ukraine. And of course, it will be discussed from the different aspect and point of view, legally, politically, socially, economically, and they will be try to find out the answer, what happened and why it's going on. Simply now we try to explain the situation which is actually mad and irrational in order to understand why Russia intervened Ukraine. Because if to put into the account that some benefit is very questionable, then simply we can answer that it's irrational decision and consequences will be very hard. But in the issue to explain shortly that it was the message to the West firstly, in order to announcing that the uh, bipolar or maybe multipolar international system comes back and Russia is again superpower. Why Ukraine? If we explain chronologically developments since the 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed and new independent uh, states appeared, including Ukraine, totally 14 apart from Russia, there was some kind of gentleman agreement between the West and East. East in the meaning of Russia. Shortly, like European Union, NATO, and United States, they agreed with Russia that the Central and Eastern European states will be somehow explained back to Europe, will be integrated into the institutions of West, while the former Soviet Union geography will be under the uh, sphere of interest of Russia. And very soon, 1993, Yeltsin Doctrine was declared, also known as a near-broad policy, and Russia declared the former Soviet Union Republic is a sphere of her political and other interests. And actually, no one discussed about this. There was no any rejection, and since then, there was no any strong interferences in today's geography. There was an exception when Bush Jr. started to support somehow democratization movements on the former Soviet Union regime, known as the Velvet Revolutions, one of which held in Georgia like Rose Revolution and another in Ukraine and known as Orange Revolution. And the regimes were supported in order to let's increase a new developments in these countries. Of course, there wasn't any continuation of this policy. There wasn't any support to these new regimes. And while expectation of Georgia, Ukraine plus Moldova was beyond of only to hold some democratic revolutions, democratic regimes, and they really want to integrate into the Euro-Atlantic and European institutions like NATO and European Union. And even though NATO developed a new program like Individual Partnership Action Plan, and European Union also provided Eastern Partnership Program, but both of them was nothing but making buffer zone between Russia and NATO and European Union via former Soviet Union republics, most concretely Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. So never this program promised any integration process or full membership. On contrary, Georgia, Ukraine, and Moldova believe that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and one day they will be a full members of these institutions if only they will fulfill it, the all conditional uh, points which were provided by IPAP and Eastern Partnership. They dealt, they fulfilled them, but no one provided them full membership. Nevertheless, governments change, and every new government promises own population that there will be a happy end, and earlier or sooner these countries will be members of NATO and European Union. When European Union and NATO provided, especially European Union provided their Eastern Partnership program, they never put into the account what can be reaction of Russia. And Russian reaction was very, very cruel. First, as you know, it was reacted in Georgia, somehow in Moldova, and finally, since the 2014, in Ukraine. Why? How? Again, let's to answer. The answer is very short and clear, because Russia was very sure that neither United States, nor NATO, or European Union countries will intervene or provided military support to the former Soviet Union countries if something will be wrong. The first case was witnessed far in 2008, another Beijing but Summer Olympic Games time, and currently is another Beijing but Winter Olympic Games period. So both times Russia intervened, and despite of all obligations of international law, most concretely United Nations Charter and Article 51, which is based on collective self-defense, no any interference or support were provided to these states. So Russia just simply and cheaply expressed that Western countries will not be interfered simply because Russia again superpower. But the reality is that the West never seen former Soviet Union republics as a part of her area and recognize it as a sphere of interest of Russia. If we come back, even during the Clinton administration, there was a policy towards Russia, like Russia first, that democratization should be started first in Russia and then spread to the former Soviet Union Republic via Russia. When the James Baker in 1992 State Secretary visited Central Asian and South Caucasus countries, it was official visit, he just openly announced that United States has no any national interest in this region. The only interest can be like democratization and prevent any influence of Iran to the Muslim republics. So, what type of conflict we have now? Because openly, even though Russia will be superpower as they assuming to be, there is no alternative ideology. They are playing within the same system, like it is system of liberal economy, it is the values of West. Just Russia became a part of the system. They cannot provide or promote alternatives. So what's difference? The difference is very clear. Now world has conflict between two social agenda or two social phenomena, postmodernism and modernism. Postmodernism now represented by Western world, and modernism by such countries like Russia, let's say China, we can include here India and somehow Turkey. So countries which more conservative about the challenging of new social developments, firstly within the societies. This is not occasional that during the Trump administration, Trump personally has more sympathy towards Putin rather than other governments in the United States, just because he also was like last Mohican of the modernist society of her country, which won election for just because of strong consolidation of this group of the people in the country. But postmodernism step in the United States and also in European countries, as well as some developed Asian countries like Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan. In this regard, it is more about social phenomena perception and reality understanding. And so values also diversified in these regards. If for modernization and modern society, the main prerogative is that explanation of the things by one question, one answer, without any alternative or pluralism. Postmodernism has different point of view that there can be one more right answers than one on any asking question. So diversification, diversity, multiculturalism, these are new steps and somehow also new perceptions and understanding of the world. So in this regard, it is like we can say progressive versus conservative. Well, conservative does not mean only for Russia or, as I also mentioned, China or India. Without any objection, postmodernism is also part of reality of these societies, which is actually try to be getting down. But also modernism existed in a Western society, so it is somehow mix of two realities. Nevertheless, dominantly we can witness postmodernism in the West and modernism in Russia. So this is a clash of postmodernism and modernism, and it's going on. Thank you for my listening of my video and your patience. I hope that you will be in good mood and health. Bye.